Good evening, everybody. I'm Jaquavia Lotus, your host here for the Random Handbone podcast. I'm joined with my good friend here. You guys can both introduce yourselves.
I'm Fredrickson Biggleston. I work for the 49ers for 43 years as the head coach.
I'm Mac Dubigan, and I have served in the IDF for 13 years.
Thank you very much, guys. And could you just give a brief reason for why you are qualified here for the topic, which we will get into very shortly if you're listening at home?
Well, I read an article on this, right? I read an article on this on the drive over. So I felt pretty qualified after reading through that.
Yeah, I've met a few Baptists in my day, so.
All right, very cool. I don't have any qualification, but I'm leading this, so yeah. All right, today's topic is on why serial killing is an imminent result of the Baptist belief. Now, I believe with my whole heart that this is a very essential topic nowadays, and if it goes unnoticed, then we're going to see a lot more serial killers. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to see them.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I can...
sometimes I feel like if they just did it more secretly so I didn't have to see him, it'd be fine. But...
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
You don't have to see him, it's better.
I was thinking our bacons might be burning. All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. After that short break, our bacon has been saved, unlike our Baptist brethren. So we're just going to go back right in there. Where were we?
I believe we were right at the staggering statistics and data coming out of, the PCA that's been giving us these shocking news?
I think the PCA, the PCUSA, and Gallup polls, our good friends down there in the South, have all been surveying and getting us this valuable information.
Yeah,
today.
and we're getting some shocking numbers. Look, do you know any of those numbers?
I was just going to say that I think that Pew Research has also been pretty influential in this.
Anyways, okay, let's get into some of these numbers now. 23% of all Baptists end up being serial killers. That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Tim, can you share a little bit? I know you have some history with this survey, and you were a part of it, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, but then again, a lot of the Baptists I see, they have that serial killer face to them. And what
and
I
belly.
think, yeah, that too. But I think what the biggest thing that protects us from serial killers is actually the Presbyterian Church, because 100% of Presbyterians, when they were surveyed, they actually denied being serial killers.
Wow. I think they did another one, and like 98% said they'd be against people that serial kill.
I think that I think I heard that one.
Yeah.
I heard that as well.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually at a meeting with one of my associates' companies, and it was down actually in the Bible Belt. So there's a lot of Baptists around.
Oh yeah, that could be dangerous.
It was a dangerous trip, but I was just riding in the car with this friend of mine. I think his name was Maximus. He was a cool guy, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
But I was just going down State Road, and I looked at him and I was like, "Are you Baptist?" He just jumped out of the car right there.
That's so.
That must have been tough.
They had to pull all 4 corpses out of the car.
Starting to smell.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some more numbers that are coming out now as well. Yeah. Wow. Okay. 100% of serial killers have been Baptists. Wait a second. No. 64% have been Baptists. 37% were non-denominational, which is also Baptist, and 2% were raised in Baptist adjacent families. I believe that's what they're called, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yes. Absolutely insane. All right. Let's go on to personal experiences. Jaquivia Lotus, could you give us? I know you shared that one, but do you have any others?
Yeah. So that experience, it was, let's just say, first of many. Okay.
Okay.
That was several years ago. And since then, I am afraid to say that with my involvement and increasing involvement with the Baptist community here in the US of A, I have come across numerous encounters of just extreme Baptists. People out on the street, just everyday people. They don't realize the risk that we are running here with this faith community, or should I say community Go ahead.
I was gonna say faithless.
Faithless community. Honestly, you preach it, Tim. But people just don't realize, because on the outside, Baptists, they just look like everyday fat people.
It's true.
On the
But it's
I'm sorry, it's
but it's what's
scarring.
on the inside that matters.
It is on the inside that matters, and unfortunately, that is where you find the darkest parts.
And fried chicken.
That is true.
Absolutely.
Which
actually, that brings us to our next point. The connection between potluck and mass murderers.
Shut up, Frank. I think our friend over here had a couple
Did he? Okay.
I had something to actually say about the last one, and it's kind of what my friend over here, Jaquavia Lotus, my guest, had to say. And there was a time in my life when I thought Baptists were ordinary people. They just walked among us, and they were everyday citizens. And I didn't realize their dubious intentions and heinous crimes until I started going to a church that was near a Baptist church. And man, the screams you would hear, it was awful during Sunday worship. And they said, no, that's just them getting Pentecostal over there. And it's like, but then the townsfolk would go missing. And it was a very scarring experience. And eventually the Baptist church ended up getting razed to the ground by the PCA. And I say good riddance to that.
Hopefully they salted the earth as well. Go on.
I heard they did.
Yeah, so before we move on from these experiences, I didn't reference anything specific, but I think for the sake of our listeners here today, I will include one short story. It was while I was at seminary for my master's degree in theology. Pretty good grades, not gonna lie. I had a large class, and there was about 35 of us. It was something to do with the Old Testament, surveying scriptures. I believe this class was specifically on the poetry. And, I was just sitting there one Friday afternoon, and professor got up, he started doing the lesson, and the Spirit really came over him. He was like, I can tell there's a Baptist in this room. And at first I was skeptical.
Yeah.
Skeptical, A, why would you care? And B, how would you know? But as the minutes passed and as the class went on, I could just tell this man was really, really feeling it, and he was feeling something true, I'm telling you. He walked down right next to my desk. I was like, I'm not Baptist, am I? I'm not. He walked past my desk and he walked right into the next one.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
You wouldn't believe what happened next. He turned, my best friend right behind me, and I was shaking because I heard those footsteps stopped. I was like, no, Leroy, you're not a Baptist, are you? Kicked him right out of the class. Took his papers right out of his hand. He didn't earn that degree that day. Got sent right to federal prison. Life sentence. 10 murders.
And that's the problem, is that's the case with almost every Baptist.
Almost every
Truly
Baptist.
doing the Lord's work.
Yep.
23% of them.
I'll tell you though, that professor ended up being Baptist himself. He was working a sort of double
I see
program.
what he was doing.
He snitched on him.
Hey, dirty
Probably
little things.
Yeah,
Dirty
probably
big
should.
things, I should say.
Yeah. You could probably tell the moment he walked in by his waistline, honestly. Anyways, back to what I was talking about, the connection between potlucks and mass murder. Alright, who wants to hit us up on this one? Murr?
I don't know. I've been to quite a few potlucks in my day, and man, I'll just say that there's less people that walk out than walk in, because sometimes the Baptists run short on food. I will say no more.
I can see, and when you're fighting for that front of the line,
Oh boy,
I tell you,
Lord
if
have
you're not
mercy.
in the front of the line,
speak,
you're
brother.
not eating. That's how the Baptists are.
Lord have mercy, hallelujah.
People who scorn this topic, they really say, Baptists, they believe in this and this, and this is just their denomination. What does it have to do? Jaquavia Lotus, mass murders, you're crazy. But have they been to a Baptist potluck?
I don't think
sir.
so.
No,
No,
sir.
no.
And the problem is not enough people take this topic seriously.
No.
It really is a
Yeah,
bigger thing than
I
you
know,
might
it's
realize.
insane. People think we're joking around by bringing this up, but no.
No.
I've lost personally 2 friends to Baptist
Yeah.
serial killers.
Speak, brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've got a friend on the inside. His name is Beef. All right, well, his nickname is Beef Wellington. Okay, don't. This is a serious topic, and the name just doesn't do him any good here. All right, but I met him on Fortnite, and that was his username, and I didn't get any further than that. So, my friend Beef Wellington here, he was a Java hacker, sort of.
Okay.
I'm not going to exactly reveal all of his trade,
Mm.
but he was basically a hacker, and he got into CIA files for me, actually, and he revealed to me what the CIA had on mass murders in the past 25 years,
Wow.
and one might expect, you know.
What are you doing?
Podcast. You might expect listen names of criminals, maybe some dates. You know, locations, things you might see in a movie.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
it was just Baptist churches,
Wow.
over 100 of them across the nation.
Insane.
Baptist churches.
It's absolutely insane. Yeah, you are kind of our guy on the inside for that.
Yeah.
I've never actually met a Baptist or seen one before in my life, or I've never even been to a Baptist church, if that's what you want to call them. But I know you frequent those areas rather often.
I've been to a few Baptist churches and man, barely escaped with my life. It was a harrowing experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, would you like to tell us about what the inside of a Baptist church, looks like? Because I don't really know.
Yeah, so it's quite a happening place. Usually, they actually have a set ratio within the Baptist
okay.
faithless community.
I see,
A little
yeah.
reference to earlier, if you guys were listening.
If you're keeping notes.
Right. They have this ratio for the architectural layout of every Baptist church. Most people don't realize this, but I have actually been in close contact with a few of my friends who have had very close contact with some of the leaders within the Baptist churches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they have revealed to me that the Baptists actually have percentages for the church property that may be divided up into the sanctuary,
Okay.
the kitchen, the youth rooms, and the bathrooms. And what we noticed from this data is actually that over 60% of the church property is required to be the kitchen, and no less than the kitchen, but the storage houses for the food. In fact,
what are they storing in there?
Exactly, that leads right into this next point. You might expect, wow, that's pretty crazy. I mean, wild enough as it is, we dug even further and found out that KFC is directly funding this architectural intention of the churches. I mean, it's wild.
Okay, this might sound crazy, but I have heard this somewhere that Baptists are actually the main supplier for chicken meat. Chicken
Oh.
meat to KFC, which is why KFC is a sponsor of the Baptists.
I'm seeing some dots connected here, and also to the mass murder. Think about that.
Yeah, that's where they're getting the meat from.
I hate to say it.
I hate to say it.
Another thing I've seen on the inside of Baptist churches is that the members basically all have a 1-to-3 height to size ratio, height to width ratio, and it's kind of a requirement. And a lot of times people get kicked out of churches over it, and that's where a lot of the church hurt actually comes from, is out of the Baptist church.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend who was telling me about how the Baptist church is so great because they actually hold to traditional values. Women cannot be pastors, and he was absolutely amazed at how good this was, and I just had to break that friend's heart. His name was Elliot. And I had to tell him it's just because they can't put on as much weight as their male counterparts.
Your waistline is your praise line, as they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you know, never mind. We're gonna leave that one for later. All right, let's get on to it. So opinion on Reformed Baptists then. Where do we put them?
Well, I see it this way.
And that's
The question really should be, what's the opinion on reformed serial killers? Basically.
Reformed.
Yeah.
I see. At least they don't have faulty theology.
Let's say it
That's
like
fair.
it is.
Yeah.
But I will say they still are directly linked to abortion and the fact that they won't baptize infants. We'll leave that for later.
That's
but just
fair.
gonna throw that out
That's
there.
fair.
Yeah, I hate to play the devil's advocate here, but I do have to mention that statistics that were recorded, surveys that were made, actually reveals that within the Reformed Baptist subpart of the Baptist faith, it's actually all the way down to a 98.3% chance of being a mass murder serial killer.
So the percentage is going down.
It is.
Wow.
It is not only going down, but is already further down.
That's
From
crazy.
One could say they're being reformed to the image of Christ.
You might say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what happens when you start taking the sacrament seriously.
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
insane.
That's powerful.
All right. Okay. So here's the next thing. I mean, there's a Baptist church within 2 miles of here. Honestly, there normally is about any location. So are we safe? You know?
And that's the question of the night.
Yeah.
I don't feel safe.
Yeah. I've been shivering the whole time here.
I cannot, with a convicted heart, say that I feel safe.
We are filming this in a Baptist church right now. And I do not feel safe. I mean, we are filming this in a Presbyterian church right now.
We are in a Presbyterian church right now.
Right now.
We are locked inside the closet of a
And
Southern Baptist church.
I hear
We've
the
been stuck in here for 14 hours.
I hear the Baptists singing "There's food around the corner" and they're marching around.
We've heard clawing at the door.
Oh, Jonathan, they just. All right. This podcast will move on. It will be just the two of us, unfortunately. Didn't mean to let that one happen, but what can you say? We're in a Baptist church.
All right, next point. John Calvin, was he the first anti-Baptist hero to hit the streets?
I would say so.
I would agree.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything.
Either him or the Pope, though.
It's true. The Pope did kind of take out a few of them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Doing the Lord's work, as they
Remember
say.
back in '97.
Yeah.
You know, they actually, this is a fun history fact. They always talk about the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, and the Roman Catholics, and they always blame it on them. But that was actually just a Baptist mass murdering spree.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Yep.
All right, well, I think that's all we got for today, honestly.
All right. Well, good talk, everybody. I hope that we will be able to join together again for the next episode on why serial killing is an imminent result of the Baptist belief, as long as we can make it out of here safe today, which I am not entirely sure about. But thank you all for listening, even if it is for your last time. Goodbye.